Hi, welcome to the Wise Archive. Here, we make language learning simple and interesting. With us, you'll forget you're even studying and enjoy every moment. The sun comes up slowly. The sky is light pink and soft blue. The air is cold, and the grass is wet. In the distance, there are big mountains. They look dark, but the tops are white with snow. A small trail goes between tall green trees. It is quiet, only birds make sounds. This place is in Colorado, in the west of America. Many people say the mountains here are strong and beautiful. Many people want to walk here. They want to go up, step by step, and see the world from above. One family arrives in a small town near the mountains. They come with a car. The father looks at the mountains again and again. He thinks that they are higher than he remembers. The mother looks at the small shops on the street. She says, "This place is very quiet. I like it." The children open the car door and smell clean air. It is fresh, not like the city. The youngest child puts his hand on the cold car window and says, "I want to go up today." His sister laughs. "We must eat first," she answers. They all walk into a cafe. The cafe is small and warm. The smell of coffee and bread fills the room. A man says, "Good morning. Do you want pancakes?" The family says yes. They sit near the window and eat hot food. The pancakes are sweet with syrup. They drink orange juice and tea. The father says, "We start after this meal." The children smile. Next, they walk to a small shop. The shop has boots, maps, and water bottles. The family buys what they need. The boy looks at the big boots. "They are too heavy," he says. The mother puts her hand on his shoulder. "You can do this. We must take good shoes." The girl takes a map from a table. She looks again at the red line that goes up the mountain. She thinks that the line looks long. She thinks that it will be difficult. But she also thinks that it will be fun. The shopman says, "The weather is good today, but later it can be cold. Take jackets." The father nods. "We know. Thank you." Finally, the family stands at the start of the trail. The air is still cool, but the sun is stronger now. They see other people walking. Some are fast, some are slow. Some have big bags, some only have small bottles. The girl says, "So many people want to go." The boy says, "Yes, but we go together." The father looks at the tall trees. He says, "The forest is quiet, but we make steps. We go one by one." The mother takes her bag and smiles. "Let's start." They take the first steps on the trail. The ground is brown and clean. The sound of birds comes from above. The children look up and see blue sky between green branches. The boy says, "I like this. It is better than the city." His sister says, "Yes, it is big and light here." Step by step, they go higher. They pass a small river. The water is cold and clear. They put their hands in it and laugh. They drink a little. The father says, "This water is good. We must not drink too much, but it is clean." The mother looks at the children. "We go slowly. We spend our time here." The boy says, "I want to go fast." The girl says, "No, we must go easy." They talk, they laugh, they walk. The mountains wait for them. The trail goes up more. The sun is high now. The air is warm, but the ground is still cool. The sound of the town is gone. Only the sound of steps and wind is here. The family walks past big stones and tall pine trees. The boy touches the bark of one tree. It feels rough under his hand. "The tree is strong," he says. The father nods. "Yes. The trees grow slowly. They live many years." The mother looks at the mountain line in the distance. She thinks that the way is long. She knows that they must spend many hours here. They meet another hiker. The man is old but walks fast. He has a small bag and a big stick. He says, "Good day. The top is still far, but you can do it." The girl smiles. She asks, "Is it difficult?" The man says, "Yes, but it is also beautiful." Then he goes on. The boy looks at him again. He thinks that the old man is very strong. He wants to be strong too. He says, "I can go like him." His sister laughs. "We will see." The trail is narrow now. They must walk one by one. They hear water again. Soon they find a small waterfall. It falls over black rocks. The water shines in the sun. The children come close and feel the cold drops on their faces. "It is like ice," the boy says. The girl puts her hand in the stream. "It is fresh. I like it." The mother takes a picture. The father says, "We must go on. The way is still long." They stop for lunch near the waterfall. They sit on a stone. The air smells of pine and wet earth. The mother takes out sandwiches. They eat slowly. The bread is soft, the cheese is salty, the apples are sweet. They drink water. The boy says, "This food is better here than at home." The girl says, "Yes. I think food is always better outside." The father looks at the map again. He puts his finger on the red line. He says, "We are here now. The next part is more difficult." After lunch, they climb again. The path is steeper. Their legs hurt. They sweat. The sun is strong on their faces. The boy says, "I want to stop." The father says, "No, we go a little more. We can rest later." The mother looks back. The town is small now, far below. She says, "Look. We can see so far. It is worth it." The children look again. The view is wide, with trees, houses, and sky. The girl says, "It is big. I like to see this." Later, clouds come. The sky is not blue now. It is grey and heavy. The air is colder. The family puts on jackets. The boy says, "It feels different." The girl says, "Yes, it is not light now." The father says, "We must be careful. Weather can change fast here." The mother looks worried. But she knows they must go step by step. The trail goes around a corner. They see other hikers again. Some people go down already. They say, "Be careful. The top is windy." The father nods. He thanks them. The girl asks, "Do we stop?" The father shakes his head. "No, we go on. We must try." The boy says, "Yes, we can do this." They all walk together again. The sound of the wind is louder. It pushes against their faces. Still, they go on. The higher they go, the more difficult it becomes. The ground is rocky and hard. The steps are small and careful. The boy looks again at the stones. He thinks that they are sharp. He says, "We must look down. We must not fall." The father says, "Yes, put your feet well." The wind is noisy now. It moves the trees and makes the jacket shake. The girl holds her hair with her hand. She says, "The wind is too strong." The mother takes her arm. "It is fine. We stay close." They meet a group of students. The students laugh and talk. They drink water and eat chocolate. One girl says, "Do you want some chocolate?" The boy takes a piece. It is sweet and gives him new energy. He smiles. "Thank you." The students go down the trail. The family goes up. The boy says, "I like this. People give and talk. It is nice." The sister says, "Yes, hikers are kind." Next, the trail comes out of the forest. There are no tall trees now, only short plants and grey rocks. The air is thin and cold. The children breathe fast. The father says, "This part is hard. We must go slowly." The mother looks at the mountain top. She sees snow on it. "It looks close," she says. The girl shakes her head. "It looks close, but it is far." They stop to rest. They sit on stones. Their hands are cold. The father gives gloves to the children. The boy puts them on. They are soft and warm. The girl drinks water. She says, "I think we can do it." The mother smiles. "Yes, we can." The father looks at the map again. He thinks that they still need 1 hour. He says, "We go again." The family climbs slowly. The path goes left, then right, then left again. The boy counts his steps. He says, 1, 2, 3. He counts again and again. It helps him go. The girl sings a small song. Her voice is quiet in the wind. The mother says, "That is good. It makes us happy." The father says nothing. He only walks and looks at the ground. Finally, they see the top. It is a wide, flat place with big rocks. A flag moves in the wind. The children run the last steps. They stand on the top and look around. The view is very big. They see other mountains, white with snow. They see small lakes that shine in the sun. They see clouds under them. The boy says, "It is like the sky is near." The girl says, "Yes, we are high. It is beautiful." The father comes and stands near them. He looks again at the view. He thinks that it is better than he remembers. The mother comes too. She puts her arm around the children. She says, "We did it. We came to the top." The wind is cold, but they feel warm inside. The boy says, "I like this place. I want to come again." The girl says, "Yes, but it was difficult." The father says, "It was difficult, but it was worth it." They spend time on the top. They eat chocolate, nuts, and fruit. They take pictures. They talk with other hikers. Everyone is happy. Everyone looks at the big world. The boy says, "I think we are small." The girl says, "Yes, but we can still go high." The mother says, "This is the gift of the mountains." The family stays on the top for some time. But the father says, "We must go down." The sky is dark again. The clouds move fast. The air is colder. The mother puts on her hood. The boy says, "I want to stay." The father shakes his head. "No, we must go." The girl says, "Yes, the way down is long." They start to go down. The path feels different. The stones move under their feet. The boy slips. He falls on his hand. It hurts. He cries. The mother comes fast. She says, "Show me your hand." She looks. It is red, but not broken. She kisses it. "It will be fine. Be careful." The boy nods. He says, "I must look better." The father says, "Yes, you must look again at every step." The wind is strong. It pushes their backs. They hear the sound of trees again when they come to the forest. It is dark there. The girl says, "It feels different now." The boy says, "Yes, it feels big and cold." The father says, "It is late. We must go fast." The mother says, "But we must also be safe." They stop near the waterfall again. The water is louder now. The children drink more. The boy says, "It tastes better when I am tired." The girl puts water on her face. It is cold, and she feels clean. The mother says, "This is good. But we must go on." Later, the family meets the old man again. He comes up still. He says, "Did you enjoy the top?" The father smiles. "Yes, thank you for your words." The old man says, "Good. The mountain is always here." Then he walks on. The boy looks at him again. He thinks that the old man is like the mountain itself. The way down takes many hours. The children are tired. Their legs are weak. The boy says, "I want to stop." The girl says, "No, we must go. The town is near." The mother says, "Yes, lights will come soon." The father says, "We can do it." We go step by step. Finally, they see the town lights below. They hear the sound of cars again. They smell food from the small cafes. They walk into the street. It is warm and noisy now. The boy says, "It feels strange." The girl says, "Yes, the mountain was quiet. The town is noisy." The mother says, "Both are good." The father says, "Yes, both are part of life." They go into the same cafe. The man says, "Welcome back. Did you see the top?" The family says yes. They sit and eat again. The food is hot and soft. The children drink milk. The parents drink coffee. The father says, "We did it. We went up and down." The boy says, "It was difficult." The girl says, "Yes, but it was beautiful." The mother says, "We must remember this day." That night, in the small hotel, they rest. The boy looks again out the window. He sees the mountain in the dark. He thinks that it is still there, waiting. He says, "I want to go again one day." The girl says, "Me too." The father says, "Yes, we will come again." The mother smiles. The mountain will wait for us. The next morning, the sun shines again. The town is busy. People buy bread, drink coffee, and talk. The family walks in the street. They look at small shops and old houses. The boy says, "The town feels different after the mountain." The girl says, "Yes, it feels small now." The father says, "But it is nice. It is warm and friendly." The mother says, "Both the mountain and the town give something." They spend the day slowly. They eat ice cream. It is cold and sweet. They sit in a park. Children play and laugh. The boy says, "I think of the wind on the top." The girl says, "I think of the waterfall." The mother says, "I think of the view." The father says, "I think of the hard climb." They all smile. Later, they go to a small museum. It shows pictures of mountains. It shows old boots and old maps. A guide talks about the first hikers in Colorado. He says, "People always want to go higher. They want to see more. The mountains are here for all." The boy listens. He thinks that the guide is right. He wants to see more too. At night, they eat in a big restaurant. The smell of meat and bread fills the air. People talk loudly. Music plays. The boy says, "It is noisy." The girl says, "Yes, but it is fun." The mother says, "This is another side of life here." The father says, "Yes, we must know both sides." Finally, the trip ends. The family drives away. The mountains stand behind them, tall and white. The children look again through the car window. They say, "Goodbye, mountain. We will come again." The parents nod. They know it is true. The mountain is not only a place now. It is a memory, a lesson, a story.